Uh, in this video, we are going to start with client server model. So basically, client server model is something which we can just say like request and demand. So if the server is offering some service, then client is a process which is requesting that particular service. So both may run on same or different machines. Server waits for requests from the clients. So basically here the server is something which provides some features, and then client will just ask for that particular feature. So sometimes server and client may be with different machines, but sometimes they also work on a same machine. So the work of the server is to just wait for the request from the clients. Yeah, so now we can just see here. So this is the server. It will just get client requests like this, and it will just resolve those issues. And then condition, server waits for the client's request. Once it satisfies the request, it will go to the sleep and again wait for another request. So after the completion of a single request, it need to just get into the sleep. So these all things I think we might have learnt in this operating systems, right? So let us continue. So there are two types of servers. They are iterative server and concurrent server. So iterative server in the sense we can just say like it is iterative server in the sense it will go step by step and increment. So it is used when process knows the handling of the time of each request in advance. So single copy runs at a time, only one copy can run at a time, and it will work just like an increment model. So iterative server is something which is just like handling the time of each request if it is known in advance. And then concurrent servers is nothing but the whole requesting area. So the whole requesting area or whole server will just get divided into some pages. So it will just get divided into some copies. So then it will just take the request from the client. So it is used when request work is unknown. So server is divided into copies according to the requests of the service. So using transfer control protocol. So before start of a communication in between two systems, there should be some components for a particular connection. So the 5 components in a connection are the protocol used. So what is the type of a protocol? As we had discussed it before, application protocol, communication protocol, transport protocol, and there are different types of protocols. So for the communication, what are the application protocols used, and what are the domain names and IP addresses, source IP addresses, port numbers, destinations, and then destination port numbers, and all these things should be known as a prerequisite before establishing a transfer control protocol. Now we can just see. So these are the 5 components. Protocols used: source IP address, source port numbers, destination IP address, destination port numbers. So what is a socket? So socket is something which is just acts like a telephone. So it allows one process to speak to the another just like a telephone. So file transfer protocol. So this is one of the important concepts. So what is file transfer protocol? So file transfer protocol is something which is well known for transferring of the files over the network. So it is just like a server client model. So when the client asks for the service, server will just deliver that particular service to the client. So it works with transmission control protocol and telnet protocol. So telnet is something which is another topic rather than this. So I will just say that in the next videos or the upcoming pages. So FTP uses transfer control protocol as a transport protocol. So transmission control protocol. Yeah, 2 types of connections for the data transferers. First connection is just for the purpose of a control connection. So control connection is done in the port number 21. So we can just think, so why only port number 21? So port number 21 is just like a default port. So if no port is initialize it to that particular connection, then it will just use this port number 21 for the purpose of this first connection, that is control connection. So control connection is just for this manipulation of files, manipulation of profiles of people, or the session managements, or the clients, whatever it is. Control connection is a client user uses to manipulate the files, sessions, etc. So second connection is the data connection. So data connection is mainly established in port number 20. So both client and server can use this port. So because data connection is something which is most important for both people, right? So if you need to just access the details in that particular server mode, then user need to just gain some access for this data connection, and he need to just know some very basic prerequisites to just ask for the service for that service connection. So open and close is possible for the FTP even without the data connection, because the file is already created, right? So there is no use of data connection. Data connection is just for the purpose of referring the data, whereas open and close is something like just the opening of a file and closing of a file. So that can be done even without the help of a data connection. So both client and server can't exchange data continuously. So data connection initiated by the server are active, client are passive. So basic working of an file transfer protocol. So connection, so the connection phase, and then control connection. So the control will be taken part in the port number 21, and then all the file transfer protocol commands will be executed first for the purpose of taking the grip regarding this connection, whereas our data connection is something which is done in the port number 20, which is used for the purpose of downloading files. So downloading files will be done with the help of this data connection, and then processes. So the processes is something like a data transfer process. So data transfer process is done in this thing, managing data channel, and then protocol interpreter. Protocol interpreter is something which we can just say like it converts the program into a machine language. User program will be converted into a machine language. So interprets the protocol. The protocol which is given by the user will be converted into some machine language protocol. So that is done with this protocol interpreter. So we can just see this image, right? So user will just give some file transfer protocol in the user interface, and then after getting that in the PI programming interface so in the protocol interpreter, the whole protocol which is given by the user will be converted into the machine language, and then with the help of this control connection it will just get into this from the user server, it will just get into this service server, and then from there it will just get into this data connection from the file system. It will just grab the data, and then after grabbing the data which is required for that user, along with this data connection, it will just send back the data to this data transfer protocol user, and in his file system the data will just get stored, and he will just receive a message or a prompt like the data has been received. So in this way the basic working of a file transfer protocol will be done. So now let us just discuss about HTTP. So we might have heard this before, right? So this is a very basic thing which we can just see in our internet browser. So hypertext transfer protocol, it is a protocol that supports the communication between the web server and the web browser. So HTTP server, HTTP browser. So it is an application level protocol with a lightness and speed necessary for the hypermedia info systems. It doesn't depend upon a specific transport layer. It can support multiple request ready exchanges. Well known port is port 80. Others also can be used. So what is this hypertext transfer protocol? So hypertext transfer protocol is one of the type in this application protocols. So it is used for the purpose of application level protocol with a speed necessary transfer of hypermedia into the systems. So it doesn't depend upon a specific transport layer. It executes with multiple types of transport layers. It can support multiple request reply exchanges. It is mainly well known in the port number 80. Others can also be used. So architecture, so www is a distributed client or server service. So client will be the browser, and then server will be the website which we are gonna using, and then uniform resource locator. So this will be something acts like an identifier, and then cookies are something like small catchy programs which were used for the purpose of running a website smoothly. So cookies are for that purpose. So here we can just see from the client side. So this will be the controller of a client, and then these are application protocols. and from this application protocols we can just use different types of languages for just creating a web page in that particular internet browser. And then user URL, so URL will be built like this, in this way. First the protocol name will be mentioned clearly, and then the host name, and then the port number, and then the path. So in this way the URL will be generated. So web documents, so what are web documents? In the internet, the web documents are nothing but there are of different types of web documents. So basically there are three types. How to access a web document in an internet, that can be done in a three types. Static, that is, if you just send a request, then the document will be sent back. Request and get the document. Dynamic, so from a set of data. So if from a document, if we require only few values in another document, then we need to just write a specific program to just get those values from that particular file. To get a required data, we use this dynamic. And then active, file will be sent by running the program from the client side. So from the client will just decide whether this file can be accessed by this particular person or not. So in this way the file will be sent from the client side to the server. So in this way the files can be, the web documents can be accessed in this particular internet architecture. So I think this might have make some sense. So we will just discuss the remaining topics in the next video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Worksoft College. Thank you.